heard you as was Sergeant Forge and Romeo, and I was wondering what it's like, or how it compares working in the Halo universe versus like Uncharted or something.
You know, those are cool. That's just kind of a military kind of thing, the whole Sergeant Forge stuff. It was so cool to be part of Halo in any way. I will tell you a funny story about Romeo. I remember doing the thing, and they were like, oh yeah, we got Trisha Helfer, we got Nathan Fillion and everything, and I was like, oh yeah, I used to love Firefly, Joss Whedon, I love that show, and I'm Alan Tudyk, and I've done cartoons together, I know Alan well, and I finally got to meet Nathan at that thing, and on a couple of sessions. Such a cool guy, and I remember an article came out like in Game Informer, one of those magazines, and it had the cast of characters. It was Nathan Fillion, he's playing this guy, and then it's Trisha Helfer, this guy. And then it said, Romeo, unknown voice actor. And it was just a blank page, and I'm just sitting there going, no, it wasn't, I didn't care about me, because that great thing, I like the anonymity, that's fine. And I'm like, what the heck? Oh, they made Romeo an African American. He was not when I recorded him. And I think they were worried that, and this happens all the time. Phil Lamar is an African-American friend of mine, he's a buddy of mine who does white characters. Oh, he's amazing. Oh, he does amazing things. We kind of go over, it doesn't matter. I mean, voice, it doesn't matter what color you are. You shouldn't. Sometimes you're playing an alien or a puppet or like a monster, it doesn't matter. But apparently they got nervous that they thought, this should have been a black actor and not doing, but it was white. It was like, they changed the name, it wasn't Romeo, but he made him Romeo. And I found out later that they were just a little nervous, that they thought people would see that the black character was by a white actor, and it wasn't. And it didn't make sense because there was another alternate voices done by some other guys who were black actors, and the characters were white. So it really was just one of those kind of politically correct, kind of stupid things, because Phil is so talented. He has so many voices, and it doesn't matter. I mean, that's another great thing about this part of the business. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, purple. It doesn't matter. Purple. Have you seen purple people? No. Blue. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just it's a great thing. It doesn't. But politically correct thing made me the unknown voice actor, which was odd because the box that said unknown voice actor was white. So who's racist now? So yeah, it was. But being any part of the Halo series, that's just an honor. I mean, that's just amazing. So.
Was Halo Wars more fun than ODST or the other way around?
I like doing Forge, but because ODST was a little bit smaller, I don't think Romeo makes it. Yeah. I don't think Romeo made it. Wow.
That was my first one.
Well, yeah. Remember Eddie Murphy used to do that whole bit on these, black people never be in the horror movies because they're too smart. Get out. I always say, it's a beautiful house, baby. I just say, get out. Too bad we can't stay. The end. Roll credits. It's the best. Yeah. No. So I can't. It's like these are all kind of like kids of mine. Prince of Persia I had no problem with. I'm like, really? Beautiful game, well done. I shouldn't have been an American accent. Carmen's this thick, princess. Well, it should have been something more. And here's a great story. Prince of Persia, I kept pushing like a slight Brit accent, or maybe kind of a Middle Eastern something that kind of had a little flavor, just a touch, and not just the Nathan Drake. The voice was getting used too much, as most of you tweeted. And then they did the movie, Jake Gyllenhaal, and guess who went in and covered him in the trailer, doing the British Jake Gyllenhaal? Me. So I was like, oh, you should have done this, because this is, so when the trailer, he wasn't available to cover a couple of lines. I said, Princess, we have to go. And I was like, yes, we should have done that. Because Kari Wahlgren, who's an amazing voice actor, she was the princess, and she was Elika in that. And so much fun. And it was such a beautiful game. Oh, she's so sweet.
Thank you.
You bet. See, I told you I'd go off on tangents. Are you hurt? You look injured. You've had.
I got so many bandages.
I know, the bandages are all over.
It hurts. It hurts so bad.
Okay, again, suck it up. She got in a car.
Okay. In your opinion, what is your favorite line in Deadpool?
Are there kids here, like really young kids?
You're all good.
Fuck you, Nolan. That was my favorite. When we had the phone call back to me, and because I sat there and they said, oh yeah, we'll just end it like this. I said, no, we'll end it like this. I said, fuck you. That was pretty cool.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, as I say to myself daily. What's up, Nate?
How are you doing?
That means you got it. He's got this.
My question is if you had a dream project or any sequel, bringing back any character you've done, live action, what would it be?
Really like to get the guy who died in Star Trek back. Because that was fun.
Hopefully have more than 2 lines.
One.
Oh, it's 1?
Yeah, it was supposed to be. No, it was, that was, again, it was 2 weeks for that one line, and it was the most fun I've had. I mean, Abrams is a genius. He's so much fun, and if anybody who played make-believe when you were kids, they built a starship. A stage is kind of this big. They built a starship. They built a starship. They built a starship. They had hallways. They would remove, when they're running down a hallway, it's a real hallway for the long shot. It's a real hallway. You move to me, boy. So for a long shot, they're running down a hallway. Then, if you want them running side, they can take out a wall, and they built a starship. And the funniest thing about it is the panel. I'm standing, Peter Weller's to my left, and I'm standing there working on this board, and they had a board that actually worked. It probably cost more than they paid me to make this thing. And ultimately, I was delivering a couple lines to Weller this way, and Abrams said, hey, I have an idea, let's go around the other side. And he came around to the back, and he said, just look up to your right, like you're touching a panel. So I kind of do this. So from your view, that's where I deliver my line, like I'm looking at a panel. So they had all this money right here for the real panel, and it ultimately ends up me just going, power coming online, sir. And that was it. It was a blast. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, depending on how good a gamer you are, my character shouldn't die, right? I don't know. Most of them have. I don't know. Bring one back. I don't know. I never got to. We were talking about Sigmund earlier. I would have liked to see Sigmund be in more Ratchet and Clanks. I thought he was, because it was just different for fun. It was just kind of a departure from what I usually do. So things like that. Sorry, that's all I got.
You gave me the Star Trek one.
Yeah, because somebody tweeted this. It was actually awesome. What's the line when the Vengeance goes into the city? If everybody saw Star Trek, the Vengeance, the ship goes into the city, explodes, and Cumberbatch, survives. And he jumps out, and everybody, I think it's Sulu, he said nobody could have survived that. And somebody in the crowd somewhere went, Drake could! And I emailed that to JJ, and he said, yeah, Drake could, but you didn't. But he said, see you soon. So I'm okay with that. So, you bet.